My name is Andrew England. I'm the owner and collector here at Real Old Paper. Well, I'm from Oakland. I'm a native to the Bay Area. I grew up in Oakland, spent my high school years here, and then I lived in Hawaii for about 10 years, but then moved back shortly thereafter. So been in San Francisco proper now for about 8 years. And then when I realized there wasn't a dealer any longer, a vintage poster dealer in San Francisco, I saw an opening and decided to open my own store in North Beach in 2016. North Beach was a great place to start. I got kind of a neighborhood feel from it. You know, I got involved in the community. But as far as business turnover, Fisherman's Wharf has been twofold, threefold, because there's just so many more people down here. We've been here for going on 3.5 years. I started as a hobbyist. I started collecting movie posters in high school that weren't necessarily originals. They were just my favorite films, prints of them. You know, I tacked them up to my wall and they didn't last very long. When I moved to Hawaii, there was a gallery there that specialized in original vintage posters. And that's the area that taught me the business. That's what taught me about the World War I and World War II posters, the French antiques, all the other variables beyond movies. And that's where I learned that this is something this is my career path. This is what I want to do. And I worked for them for 8 years. I took a portion of my pay in store credit, and so I built a collection basically, and it turned it into a business for me. It's a hobby turned business, and I'm very fortunate. What I tell people is I got so bitten by the poster bug that it spiraled out of control, and I needed a store to outlet my collection. San Francisco has always had a vintage poster dealer dating back to the 1970s. Along with Chicago and New York and Paris, San Francisco is one of the cities that had an area where you could buy vintage posters. And so people appreciate the time capsules. People appreciate the history that posters provide. They're all authentic vintage posters. Most of what's in the store is at least 40 plus years old. Some go back to the 1800s. So we do have things that are 140 years old. They're advertisements. They're war propaganda from World War I and World War II. There are movie posters, travel posters, alcohol and tobacco and miscellaneous products. Very thin pieces of paper that were meant to last maybe a month or 6 weeks and then get discarded. The lowest point for me was for sure the pandemic. Having to close the gallery, so I didn't have a web store built. I didn't have an outlet. I barely had an Instagram. And I was telling all my customers, don't buy them online. I can't be sure if they're authentic or their true colors or size or condition. I couldn't sell my wares. You know, it was very frustrating for me. It was a struggle until this opportunity presented itself. And even when I moved into this location in the Wharf, there was still nobody here yet. You know, we hadn't officially reopened yet, but I rolled the dice, I spent everything that I had left to build this place out and give it one last shot. It's worked out very well. Here we have the 1971 closed circuit telecast for The Fight, Ali and Fraser's first meeting, the one that Ali lost, his first professional loss. We get a lot of people that appreciate the story, and also understanding the aesthetic a little more. What's the message? What are the little nuances within the graphic? The Champagne Massé by Marcely Nauzol. It's a wonderful piece. It kind of carries both styles. It has the Belle Epoque mainly in his garb. He has, you know, shoes, and his all ensemble kind of fits the earlier period, but it's done more in the style of Art Deco. And that's what we offer. That's part of this experience of coming into the stores. We're gonna walk you through the purchase. We're gonna explain how we've preserved it, what are the imperfections, what does the imagery all mean. You have what is supposed to be the older story here of Obi-Wan, and then the newer story pasted over the top. We're gonna, you know, give you all that information about everything. And it may not be your favorite piece until you've heard the story. I think I've always had in the back of my mind a second location, you know, outside of the state. A dream of mine has always been Tokyo, you know, but I do a lot of consulting in Las Vegas with the Pawn Stars group. So I thought about opening a shop in Las Vegas. We'd like to branch out at some point. I mean, we're from here. This is where the company started, and this is where we'll stay. We just may also open another store, you know, but I love being here. This is where my family is. This is where I was raised, and I'm not ready to leave that behind. So yes, people are looking for this sort of thing, and there are fewer and fewer storefronts, brick and mortars like ours, that outlet this sort of thing. We offer the analog experience. I think it's a very desirable, very collectible subject matter because we're less and less accustomed to seeing this sort of thing. You can pick it while you're looking right at it, examining all the flaws and all the scale and all the colors. You'll know what you're getting at that point because you're getting that exact one. Poster art is my area of expertise and what I have an affinity for. It's what I enjoy the most. And I think poster artists, especially being that they're ephemeral, being that they're not meant to last, are underappreciated. Real Old Paper, the Vintage Poster Gallery, is at 777 Beach Street, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 5, and Monday, 12 to 5.